Hello, ladies. We are going to talk about estrogen 101 in perimenopause today. And I think a really great place to start is by saying estrogen has gotten a really bad rap in general in women's hormones and wellness, but in perimenopause in particular. And it's time to set the record straight. We blame estrogen for all of the hormonal experiences that we have, the heavy, long, and painful periods, the mood swings, fibroids, cysts, breast pain and tenderness, fibrocystic breasts, migraines and headaches, anxiety, weight gain, hot flashes, hot flushes, vaginal dryness. And then we reach for the supplements that we read online, or we take medications prescribed by our doctor that are aimed at lowering estrogen, or in some cases, raising estrogen levels. And we really need to stop taking this approach. Estrogen is such an important hormone. I think we've lost sight of estrogen as a health hormone. It's not just a period hormone, it's not just a reproductive hormone or a menstrual cycle hormone. It is a health hormone. It's important for our heart health, our cardiovascular function, bone health, brain function, immune health, lubrication, our hair, skin, and nail health, our sleep, our urinary tract health and function, and so much more. We really need to stop trying to manipulate estrogen. It's just a hormone. Hormones are just chemical messengers. And what we need to be doing instead is tackling the real reasons, the root causes, or the causative factors for all of the perimenopausal symptoms you may be experiencing. We have to stop blaming the hormones and isolating the hormones. We can't do that in a physiologically functioning body. So, what are some things that we really need to think about? Estrogen metabolism. We need to think about not just your overarching estrogen levels. When your doctor runs a blood test for your hormones, if your doctor's even testing for hormones, the only estrogen that they're looking at is estradiol. And this is a problem because very rarely is estradiol the problem. It is the metabolites. You see, what happens is estrogen is a use it and lose it hormone. We want it. We want to have it on board. We want it to do its thing throughout the various functions in our body that it supports. And then we need it to go on its way. We need to eliminate it. We need to get it out. It's a use it and lose it hormone. And our liver and our gut play a really key role in helping to break down and eliminate estrogen once it's done its job. One of the biggest things that I see time and time again on the Dutch tests that I run with my clients is their estrogen is not breaking, or their liver rather, is not breaking down estrogen appropriately. So we have the wrong estrogen metabolites, the wrong daughter estrogens or breakdown estrogens. And these can be really potentially quite dangerous. They're proliferative. So we think about what the word proliferative means. Proliferation, it's growth, right? So we see growth of the uterine of the uterine lining. So we see heavier periods, we see clots, we see pain, we see the growth of things like cysts, fibroids, fibrocystic breasts. If you're the type of woman who coming into your period the couple of days before, maybe 5 to 7 days before your period, your boobs are so sore, they can't be touched. You can't wait to get home at the end of the day to take your bra off. They're so sensitive. Probably time to take a look at that estrogen metabolism, because there's a lot of those proliferative estrogens that are contributing to that growth of the tissue. Fibrocystic breasts as well, all of these other symptoms. In the case of fibroids, for example, which I'm seeing a growing prevalence of in perimenopausal women, we not only have to think about estrogen metabolism, but we have to think even a step before detoxification and liver function, which is drainage. Because what research shows in the case of fibroids is fibroid stem cells, so that the cells that build and contribute to fibroid growth actually begin in the debris in the extracellular matrix. So this is research that nobody else in the industry is talking about, which frankly blows my mind. And this is something that all of my clients that come in to work with my team and I in the Hormone Harmony method, we get them on a drainage protocol to open up those drainage pathways and then get into detoxification to support the proper metabolism of estrogen. Okay. So that is the function of the liver when we're talking about estrogen. But we also need to think about the role that the gut plays, because the gut is a central character in estrogen and perimenopause in particular. And a lot of the symptoms that we start to experience in our late 30s, our early 40s, and through our 40s through perimenopause when it comes to the digestive system. Now, I'm going to do a little highlight today with the gut. I'm going to be doing a deeper dive into the gut specifically and its connection to our hormones and perimenopause in upcoming videos. But what I really want to touch on today is just a few key ways that the digestive system can contribute to estrogen. The first one being the estrobolome. This is where estrogen either gets recycled, it gets sent back into circulation, which is not something that we want when we're in an estrogen dominant state and experiencing those symptoms like heavy, long, painful periods, fibroid cysts, the breast pain and tenderness, the headaches, the migraines, the anxiety, all of those sorts of things. So the estrobolome is something that we really need to be looking at. And you know, in perimenopause, our gut microbiome starts to change. So we really need to tune in and hone in on that. We also need to think about inflammation that is coming from the digestive tract, which can be from infections. We see a growing number of women coming into the practice with various infections in their gut, whether that's bacterial, parasitic, or fungal in nature. That inflammation is going to contribute to a distortion in the way that your hormones are made and the way that they communicate with each other and your cells. Okay. And then histamine. There are, for example, so many bacteria in our gut that can stimulate histamine release, the mast cells to stimulate more histamine, or themselves produce histamine. And histamine and estrogen are like BFFs. When histamine goes up, it brings estrogen along with it. So we really need to dial into the gut. And these are just 3 areas that I've talked about today. There's a lot more to consider when it comes to the digestive system. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a number of videos coming up in the next month or so, specifically with regards to the gut. The next couple of things that we need to look at are insulin, cortisol, and also endocrine disrupting chemicals. So when we're looking at insulin, we do become more insulin resistant in perimenopause. So we really need to be focused on balancing our blood sugar. Otherwise, we start to create a scenario for estrogen dominance and progesterone deficiency. And we'll start to see as well more of those mood swings, the anxiety, the depression, that apathy situation, a lot of fatigue, difficulty sleeping, as well as all of the estrogen type symptoms. Now, I talk in a great amount of detail. I've laid everything out for you when it comes to insulin, blood sugar, and nutrition for perimenopause in my nutrition guide, which I will link to below this video for you. The next thing that we have to look at is cortisol, and this is at the crux of perimenopause. Your cortisol, your adrenals, your nervous system, this is the silent killer of women. This is where we're going to see a disruption to brain function, immune health, reproductive function, suppressing progesterone, putting us into a relative state of estrogen dominance and later of estrogen deficiency. Okay, this is such an important critical piece. And then again, endocrine disrupting chemicals, things like the BPAs and other biphenyl products as well. There's BPS. None of them are really good for you. Dioxin, phthalates, percolate, parabens, PCBs, fungicides and herbicides, synthetic fragrance. We need to be thinking about our skincare. What are the products that you're using on your body? So cleansers, lotions, makeups, soaps, sprays, hair care. What are you using? Shampoos, conditioners, sprays, gels, all of these sorts of things. What are the products that you're using around your house to clean your home? What's in the food that you're eating? The water sources that you have available to you. Perfumes, colognes, candles, scented plugins. These are becoming really problematic in our society. You know, you walk into public bathrooms, you walk into public elevators, and there's that plug-in that releases that spray every, 10, 15 minutes. Endocrine disrupting chemicals, they're becoming so pervasive and they are disrupting our endocrine system. and feminine hygiene products. So thinking about the tampons, the pads that you're using, you want to make sure that you're using organic and not disrupting your reproductive system and your hormones. So that's a little bit of a deeper dive into estrogen in perimenopause. You're most welcome to reach out to me with questions, and I'm going to link to a couple of guides for you below this video as well. My perimenopause guide, as well as my nutrition guide, which I mentioned today. So I'll link those below the video. And if you are wanting a deeper dive, if you are someone who is listening to this and you are looking for more support, book in for a discovery call with my team, Ashley and Danielle. They are here to help you explore your specific situation in more detail and talk about how we can help. We are here to listen to you, to really hear you, validate what you're experiencing. Ashley and Danielle are terrific at holding that space for you to finally be seen and heard and get answers, to offer you real solutions to your hormone and health concerns beyond what you're hearing from your doctor, which is likely hormonal birth control in the form of the pill or an IUD, or other medications like tranexamic acid, mood stabilizers like SSRIs, or surgery, whether that's a full hysterectomy, an ablation, a DNC, a UAE, etc. Beyond just mainstream social media advice as well. So if you feel so called, you are more than welcome to schedule your discovery call with Ashley and Danielle. And again, I will link that below for you as well. And you're most welcome to follow me on Instagram, reach out. That's where I am most active. I love to connect with you in the DMs. So follow me on Instagram. I'm at stephanie.sing.balancedhealth. I will link that below as well. And come on over there, follow me. Like I said, that's where I'm most active, and I would love to connect with you there as well. I hope you found this helpful. Have a wonderful day, and we'll chat soon. Bye for now.